Hi, everybody.
Hello!
What are we doing? It's 6 o'clock Central Time.
I know!
Yeah,
It's a super ultra mega special
right. Because
bandwidth and banter today.
see, we have to. Bandwidth and banter is so important to what we're doing that we want to facilitate and be accommodating to folks with different schedules, right? So, yeah, this is there's. In fact, actually, I think this episode and the next two are going to be all at
Yep.
6 p.m. Central Time. So kind of
Correct.
cool. But it'll obviously oscillate. The 2 p.m. Central Time is better for folks in Europe, right?
Yeah.
Whereas 6 p.m. Central Time would be like 1 a.m. I think for them or something, or 10, midnight or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, midnight. Yeah. But wow. Okay, back to on topic. I'm getting a little distracted because anytime I'm around the chaos engine over there, distractions occur. See, she knows who I'm talking about.
Me. Hel- It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me.
But I'll tell you what, from the get-go, I want to share tonight, we're super stoked and excited to have one of our favorite people, a good supporter of the channel and a channel whom we support, and that is rlyehRaiya. We're super honored and stoked to have her on the stream. Honestly, she's been on our list for the longest time. She's one of the first people that we put on her list. And it's only been tech issues, trying to resolve things to make sure that we could make it work. And so we're honored tonight to introduce an amazing streamer who you all already know and appreciate. And so
Yes.
here she is tonight on Bandwidth and Banter, our next guest. Hi, rlyehRaiya.
Hello.
So
How's it going?
I love your avatar. So Raya, please introduce yourself and share, what your stream is all about, and then we'll jump into the questions.
Hi, everybody. I'm trying to wave at you and it's not working. My name is Raya. My channel name is rlyehRaiya. I've been streaming since 2022. Been on the platform for quite a long time, but just started streaming last year as a VTuber. As far as my channel goes, I play a whole bunch of variety games. We play a lot of spooky games, a lot of, kind of top-down fighty games, first-person shooters. I think probably the most well-known one that I play is Phasmophobia, or I get to run around and scream a lot with my friends. And of course, I have some colorful personalities that come on with me sometimes. So it's been a blast, and I'm super, super thrilled to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Oh,
Absolutely.
God. Are you kidding?
I'm so excited.
I know, me too. I can't imagine Bandwidth and Banner and not having Raya on at some point. She's just a part of our community and vice versa. And we're just honored to have you here. So thank you guys for joining us. We're going to jump straight into the questions. And I again, thank you for joining us tonight. So
Absolutely, thank you.
Kick us off, Druid.
Rhea, please share a boring fact about yourself.
A boring fact. I would say one boring fact about me is that I really love falling asleep in my chair. I have a very comfy reclining chair, and my desk is set up right next to my bed. So what I'll do is I'll sit here and kind of put my feet up, and then I'll just fall asleep in my chair, probably like every day.
That is amazing.
That
I love
is.
that. That is so good.
It's a bad habit. Everybody that I know yells at me for it, but I still find a way to make it happen.
Hey, you do you. If that's how you can sleep, that's good. Is it one of those like big, thick recliner style chairs, or is it like what sort of chair is it?
It's really just a regular like gaming computer chair.
Oh,
But
But it's that comfy,
It just has a really nice recline. Yeah, it is.
Right on.
I'm very like notoriously like I can sleep anywhere, like any position, like any like spot, like on the floor, on a beanbag, like in a closet. It doesn't matter where.
That's amazing. I wish I had that.
Power.
What did you say, Druid?
I said I wish I had that power. I can't sleep ever.
It's like you read my mind. I was literally about to say I wish I had that superpower. So Rhea, tell us, how did you pick your Twitch name? What was the inspiration?
So obviously my Twitch name is a combination of two words, rlyeh and Raiya. Raiya is my actual real life name. And rlyeh doesn't have any specific, meaning to anything that I have or do. It doesn't go to like with the Italian thing. It was just, I was trying to come up with some kind of a like little word or little phrase or something to attach onto my name since the word Raiya was chosen. And I am actually a really big fan of H.P. Lovecraft's work. And a lot of you will probably know that rlyeh is the title of the dead city where Cthulhu is supposed to be resting. So nothing else really special to it. I just thought, oh, this is cool, and it goes with my name. I'll put them together.
They really are wonderful together. It's fantastic, and
I have gotten some small resistance about it because it is a little hard, I think, to spell. Sometimes it might confuse people, but at this point, I kind of just accepted it and gone with it.
Yep.
I'm happy.
You should. I have to admit that I at first was one of those resistant people, but just like everything in life, we learn to adapt, and I would never want you to change it ever again. I think it's perfect. It suits you.
What was the inspiration for your VTuber avatar?
Yeah, this is one I wish this had been my question. This is great.
So the inspiration for my VTuber avatar was the old original model that I had that some people might remember was an old dark elf character of mine who actually came from one of my D&D campaigns where she had, darker skin, like very long, like green hair, and was a character that I was very attached to at the time. And I thought, I really like this representation, this character, this appearance. I'm looking to get into streaming, and I had, obviously, like everyone else, had gotten more and more into VTubers as they became more popular. And I thought this is something that I could translate into streaming because, I'm one of those many people who does have a certain amount of anxiety about being on camera.
Yeah.
And it basically just kind of went from there. I had that original model for quite some time, and once we finally got big enough, felt like confident enough with the channel going forward, I decided to take the plunge and get just a total like overhaul. Kept a lot of like colors and themes, but went more into kind of the puppy wolf girl kind of look that my character has. It's something that I find adorable. Like, it doesn't bother me whatsoever. I think it's absolutely amazing, and I would not change it for anything else right now.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. I love it so much.
It's one of the best VTuber avatars I have ever seen on Twitch, without a doubt.
I can zoom out and show the full.
Oh yeah, please. That's cool. Look at her. She's so cute.
He's so cute. I love it so much.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I didn't realize. I have to admit, I didn't realize it was a wolf girl. For some reason, I thought it was like a fox, because but I definitely
to my understanding, it is.
So I'm glad I got this question since I didn't get that other question. What D&D class do you consider yourself to be in real life?
Oh God. Okay. So I knew that this is one that was coming, and I did not prepare for it at all. This is very difficult, and anybody who knows me, anybody who has ever played D&D with me or listened to me talk about D&D will know that I suffer really, really badly from indecisiveness, especially when I find so many different characteristics about the different classes and the different things that I like the most.
Right.
If I had to be a D&D class in real life, I would probably most likely end up being either a cleric or a warlock. Just based on like my nature, I feel like it would probably end up being a cleric because I'm a little more of a goody two shoes than like an actual chaotic soul. But definitely one or two of those I vibe with the most.
I gotcha.
Love that.
I gotcha. I think that's awesome, and it suits. Without a doubt.
So I actually heard that your D&D character almost died recently. Can you share that story?
Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, so my character always ends up getting into trouble somehow, like through no fault of her own, no desire of mine whatsoever. We had recently been on a quest on this island that was kind of under siege from these sort of, fell demon creatures. We had just defeated the big bad of the island inside of a volcano, and we're on our way back to the town. And basically, what had happened was we had taken the long way around the island to get to the volcano, but was enough of the party wanted to keep exploring that we decided to take the kind of shorter alternate route to get back. And that ended up going through this sort of ancient abandoned civil like ruins of some giant civilization. It's just absolutely like gorgeous, just like big pyramids, like stoned pathways, and at the top of this giant step pyramid was a beholder, which our party had never encountered before, was not prepared for. We tried our best to get through, and almost immediately, within the first 10 turns of combat, my character did get one shot by the beholder from full health.
Wow.
Now, they very, very barely were able to, and it was bad. I really thought it was it. I was devastated because the party was split. People were having to run and try to, find cover and avoid other beams and blasts. And they were just barely able to drag my character's corpse to the side of below a stone bit of road and cast, I believe, Revivify on her. So the rest of that combat was spent basically in a blind panic.
Wow.
On no health, just trying anything that we could do to escape without anyone else dying.
Right on. That's a great story. Are you glad that you have that story now?
I wish that was the first time that it had been that close. But on literally the session previous, on our way to said volcano, my character also was on, if you know how D&D works, which obviously you guys do, but you get 3 of your death rolls before your character is perma-dead. And my character was on her last roll before she got a nat 20 and immediately brought her back up. So she was that close to dying to, I believe it was a giant orangutan and a group of floating skulls that were throwing fireballs everywhere.
Wow, that's an action-packed group. I like it. So this might be a tough one, but do you have a favorite D&D class to play? And if so, what is it?
So I would say that my favorite D&D class so far to play has been Warlock. It's the one that I played the longest. I've played a couple of different characters. I've had a fighter, I've had a cleric, I'm currently playing a wizard, but Warlock has always been near and dear to my heart. It was my very first D&D character. First D&D character that I ever made was Kura, who was a 6-year-old baby kobold who got tricked into serving her patron. And now, mind you, 6 years old for a kobold is technically full-grown young adult, but she was raised by a society of humans. So she was essentially
Treated like a baby.
She was like a baby. She's a child.
Yeah.
Which was very, very fun to play. She's very immature, like wanderlust, like roaming around, kind of had to like reel her in, keep her from, stepping into anything too dangerous, but still had all of this, power and like potential to go into. So I definitely say Warlock would be my pick.
Right on. Thank you.
I think that Warlock is, one of those classes where it has a very solid like baseline for any kind of character style that you want to play, whether you want to be a blaster, you want to be a face, and the invocations that it offers lets you really, really like expand wherever you want to take your character.
Warlock is one of those classes I would love to play one day, for sure. So we're gonna switch gears a little bit. What drew you to Twitch?
What drew me to Twitch? So when I was younger, I was addicted to watching Twitch. I think I probably watched Twitch like all of like my teenage years, like all growing up. It was a very, tempting thing for me because, as a kid growing up, like a lot of people, I had a lot of social anxiety, didn't make a lot of friends very easily, like in real life. And it was very appealing to be drawn to the sort of close-knit communities that we have here on Twitch and a lot of our streamers. And I, had all kinds of interests in different games. Probably the highlight of old getting into Twitch was, if anyone is familiar with the streamer Lyric, I know he at least used to be a very, very major streamer on the platform. I don't know if he is still active or not, but I actually became a moderator for one of his moderators, which doesn't sound impressive, but that alone was enough to boost my old channel, which never streamed a day in my life, to a higher follower count than I currently have after a year and a half of streaming.
Wow, interesting.
Which really goes to show that the communities you're in and the support you have can make a major difference. At some point, I ended up totally like abandoning everything. I gave up the account. I really stopped watching Twitch and like was happy to like take my break from it and kind of focus on real life, focus on, people closer to me. And I think I kind of got a little too sucked into, feeling like I needed to always be present for these virtual communities when it may have been more negative for me than positive a lot of the time. And I think it was good of me to recognize that and kind of pull away. And a couple of years later, fast forward, feeling a lot healthier, like mentally a lot better about things, I wanted to get back into it. So I made my new account. I started, watching a few people, but for me, it's very, very chill, very relaxed. Like I don't spend a ton of time watching people. I've talked about this on my channel before, but I try to show my support in little ways here and there. But I did get really interested in the idea of streaming, especially as a VTuber. And so a lot of like my time and energy went into figuring out exactly how I could make that happen, especially for someone who isn't as tech savvy as I am. It was quite an adventure. And I, had a really great little start because of all my friends and, the people that I've met along the way. And it's been really, really great so far. So I'm super, super happy to be here.
Oh, I love it so much.
It's worth saying that like a big portion of that is also thanks to like you guys and everyone in chat and the people who have like shown me so much like love and support, which I don't really even have words to.
Ditto. We feel the same about you.
Yeah.
So.
We really do. You're so good.
I know, right?
No, you're good. I love you both.
So, can you tell us any interesting stories that are a positive, happy one from your earliest experiences on Twitch?
Earliest experiences on Twitch. God, I remember like just with a craze, like watching all of the little like achievements and counters that Twitch has. Just like, oh, you have to get, 2 viewers, you have to get 3 viewers, 5 viewers. And finally getting to break those after so long. It's like, oh, I did like a 3-hour stream. I did, a 2.5-hour stream. I really like poured my heart out, and like I got this close to hitting that like average viewer count. And finally getting to the point where I could start breaking those and start like progressing forward. I know getting to getting to what's it called? Affiliate, I think, was like a major milestone for me. That I'm super unbelievably happy getting to unlock that, support, the ability to have emotes, the ability to, customize your channel and get points. It's really exciting.
Oh yeah. So good.
Right?
What did your family and friends think when you told them you planned on streaming?
So my friends were all super like supportive. One of my like best friends in real life, he goes by the handle Nirm, is a Final Fantasy speedrunner and has done a lot of stuff in like the speedrun community. I shared a lot with him, a lot with other close personal friends, and everyone was very supportive and happy of me like pushing to like stream and like share this. I would say honestly, the thing that weirded people out the most is the VTuber aspect of it rather than streaming. I never really ran into any like weird resistance about streaming games, but being a VTuber and having the VTuber model as opposed to just a regular camera was probably the thing that weirded people out the most. I think a lot of, at least some people, associate it in this weird sort of, anime community sort of bubble of things that they don't really know about.
Yeah.
Or, some people who have heard about VTubers may have only seen like the very like either kawaii ugu anime like clips off of YouTube or the horny ones basically.
Yeah.
Neither of which is real. I mean, it is cute for me, but it's nothing like weird. It's nothing. So I had to kind of explain that. It's just a cute, fun way for me to like express myself, feel comfortable, feel happy, and kind of share, be able to share myself and my personality with the community rather than having to be preoccupied about like my appearance or some other small things.
Yep. I get it.
Yep, I get it and respect the hell out of that.
I get it. Like, it's one of those things like right now I'm like super self-conscious about how my bangs look. And if I had a VTuber model, I wouldn't have that problem.
You look great.
Thank you.
I will say that my family, like my immediate family, does find the idea of, streaming for people kind of weird, but they've kind of gotten used to it over time. They're a little more supportive than they used to be.
Yeah.
That's
My
good.
mom is just always just like, are you live right now? And she like shove things under the door rather than like, it's the funniest thing.
That's good that she's being considerate and sensitive.
So supportive.
Oh yeah, it's just like, are you live? What's going on? And I'm just like, you can come in the room, it's fine.
So one of those things where like you have to monitor when your parents are watching your stream or your family's watching your stream, so you don't say like you don't say too many like F-bombs or anything. Like, you don't want them too freaked out.
I actually cuss more offline than I do online.
Except today.
It's valid.
What was that?
I said except today during your stream, you were F-bombing it all over the place.
Oh, I was. But I cuss way more offline than I do online, which I find odd. Odd. My mom, actually, when we moved into the house with my mom, she like didn't cuss as much. And then Fate and I move in and she's dropping F-bombs and doing all this. And I'm just like, mother.
You corrupted your mama.
I did, Mama Fern.
I try very hard not to cuss a lot, like professionally, like in my work environment and at home, to the point that I will literally say, I get made fun of. I say sugar instead of like, shit or anything. And I try to model that like on stream, but sometimes my company has a way of bringing it out of me anyway.
And
yes,
sometimes the mouth will say what the mouth will say, right?
Absolutely.
I got in trouble for saying heck at work, and I'm like, excuse me, you're lucky I didn't say.
Something
I'm
else,
a lot more even-tempered than my coworkers are, to say the least.
So, Raya, what struggles did you deal with when you first started streaming? I guess we've kind of touched on that subject a little bit, but maybe share some tidbit that of issues that you experienced when you first started.
So, issues first starting streaming, I would definitely say it took me a long time to really understand how to get like assets and like backgrounds and, overlays, layouts. A lot of that was very, very difficult for me to figure out. And I'm one of those people where it's like, I really want to take it to one of my more tech savvy friends, but I also don't want to like constantly like, oh, there she goes again. She's asking for it. Like, she can't figure out herself. So a lot of like nights spent trying to figure those things out, figuring out, learning how to use the original like applications and programs for the VTuber models that I have. I mean, literally, I'm pretty sure the Twitch information, like all of the like technical side inputting for the connection is still same information that I have set up from my friend from literally like 3 years ago. If that ever goes through, I am screwed.
Well, you've got a great community who will help you fix it if that ever happens.
Absolutely, yeah.
Literally anytime. I will put. I like. We're happy to help because I'm also not tech savvy. My poor husband will get texts from me when I am out, and when he's at work, like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. It's not picking up my mic, and I can't figure it out. So
I can't troubleshoot to save my life.
What tips can you share with future streamers?
With future streamers,
or baby streamers,
or baby streamers, having spent like a lot of my previous account's time like watching people literally at like the height of their like Twitch career all the way to people like going through that like daily grind. A really good example that I always bring up to people when they talk to me about streaming, about wanting to stream, is that there was a good friend of mine who streamed back when I still played BDO, Black Desert Online. He was a really great guy. He was, in terms of streaming, he had a good personality. He was, funny. He was witty. He was, attractive. He played, popular games. He was really good at specific games. He played a variety of things. He was consistent. He really put a lot into it. And the unfortunate thing is, even after, a year, 2 years plus of streaming pretty much daily, he never really broke into anything and eventually gave it up. I think that for people who are interested in streaming, it is important to go into it with, the mindset that, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for fun. I'm doing this to share with my friends. I'm not doing this with the expectation that like, I'm going to immediately take off. I'm going to become super famous. Like I'm going to make lots of money. Like I've seen a lot of streamers go hardcore on the idea of, streaming being able to replace their primary income or, their jobs. And I've seen them crash and burn because of it. And that's, a really difficult thing to go through. And so I think it's really, really important for you to make sure that you enjoy it for what it is. Make sure that you can put yourself in the mindset that, hey, I might only have 1 or 2 viewers right now. No one might be talking in my chat right now, but I'm still having fun. I'm still having a good time. I'm able to enjoy the game that I'm playing. I'm being social with it. And it does take a lot of time. You talked about what were, issues that I faced early on in streaming. And the motivation is definitely probably one of the biggest ones. It is that first slog, especially if you don't have a community to join into, you don't have a group of, streamers or friends to go into. It can be very difficult to break into Twitch and, get to that affiliate point, get to the point where you have, 5 consistent viewers. So making sure you have a good mindset, keep your spirits up about it, and like, don't give up. Just keep working on it. Keep yourself focused on you. Don't focus on other people. Focus on what's going to make you the happiest. I've had a lot of people tell me like, oh, you should, do this, or you should do this. And it can be valid, but at the end of the day, I know that the biggest thing that's going to contribute to, my success on Twitch, my consistency, is being willing and able to follow what's going to make me happy.
Yeah.
Great advice. Incredible advice.
Love
Fantastic.
that.
Thank you.
I absolutely love that.
So, Raya, what do you enjoy most about streaming?
What do I enjoy most about streaming? I absolutely love I almost said the customer connection because of my job. I love the viewer connection. Don't look at you as customers, I promise.
All 7s. All 7s.
I enjoy the viewer connection the most. I enjoy the, answering questions, seeing like people in chat who are happy, who are active, who are like engaging with me, engaging with other people. I, would never do this kind of thing to like a, anonymous audience if that was all that there ever was going to be. I love seeing people happy. I love being able to be entertaining for people, be engaging for people, ask how someone's day is, I'm really big because I don't traditionally stream as long as a lot of streamers do. I don't traditionally, watch streams as long as some people might stay in. And again, just kind of like my work as well, I try to make the quick connections that I have with people as meaningful as it can be, whether I see you for the next hour, whether you're in my chat for 5 minutes. I want to see you, ask how you are, have a good little touch on your day, before you have to go. And that is the most important thing for me.
Right on. What a great answer. And so true.
I love that so much. Okay. Because I understand the lingo so well. Anyways, do you have a favorite game that you have played on stream?
A favorite game that I have played on stream? It's probably going to have to be Phasmophobia, which is probably not a surprise to anybody. Phasmophobia is one of those games that I have had for a long time and would spend like 2 minutes here, 5 minutes here, like get in, get scared, quit, and leave. And if the VODs on Twitch lasted forever, you would be able to slowly see like the progression of months of effort towards me butting into and pushing through and slowly like getting past that fear. I am a very, very big, like scared puppy girl. So paranormal specifically is my greatest like fear. I don't necessarily believe in like paranormal stuff, but the fear, like the phobia, horror movies, horror games, like jump scares has always been like my weak point since I was little. And Phasmophobia is genuinely terrifying, especially if you are alone. When you have that ambience, you don't know what to do, you don't know where to go. It can be very overwhelming in a like, I need to get out of here, like almost like a visceral, like instinctual thing. And so I think slowly learning to overcome that and getting to share so much of it with my stream, with my friends, with the people watching has been a lot of fun for me. Probably the most fun that I have had streaming so far.
Oh yeah.
Love that.
I
I love
respect
that.
the hell out of you for purposely pushing through your fears. I just want you to know that.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
It really does mean a lot to me. I still remember early Phasmo streams where I remember there was one where I was so committed. I was going to do a solo stream. It was just going to be me. I was going to practice and like work through my fears. I think that total stream length was about 36 minutes because I quit out like midway through, and it became one of my like most viewed clips at the time. Very bad. Don't go look it up.
Okay.
You don't need to see that.
All right.
But taking that and then getting to the point, because Phasmo is a game that has so many like technical points, like so many little tidbits about how the game works, how the ghosts works, how different functions work, that like any game, as you slowly get more and more experienced, more knowledgeable, you start learning how to overcome those things and not give into like the blind panic, the blind fear, like I'm about to die. It's like, okay, no, I know I can do this. I can go here. I can use this to help me. It's been great.
I love that.
And getting to share that even with a Stormy, as I've had the opportunity to a few times, has been wonderful.
Yes. And when we can find time, I'm fully open to playing again every once in a while when we can do that.
Absolutely. I would adore to. I would love to.
I'm trying to branch out to more scary games too, because I'm sure people would love to see me.
I'm ignoring David in the chat saying she threatened me when I said I was going to buy her a Ouija board.
I am so against Ouija boards. I will also threaten you. I can't do it. I don't want that in my house. I can't do it. If
Nowhere near me.
Nope. No.
It's getting down off the balcony.
No.
Into a fire.
No. I don't care. I'm superstitious enough to go, no, get that out of my house. Don't touch it. Don't look at it sideways. No.
So I'm not superstitious like at all, but I do believe that the human mind is powerful enough that you can experience, in whatever personal way to you, be that, touch, visual, audio. I believe that the brain can make you see anything that is or isn't there in the right circumstance.
I mean, it's true.
I don't want to test it. I don't use the Ouija board because I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm not going to test it. Yeah. I'm not going to put that evil out there.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Even then.
All right.
Can't do it.
On a less creepy subject, tell us about a fond memory you have with one of the first games you played when you were younger.
Oh gosh, a fond memory with one of the first games that I played. I would say that, gosh, I played so many games when I was young growing up, but one of the first games that I ever have any memories of playing was a Link to the Past on, I believe it was the Super Nintendo. And that is probably one of like the youngest memories that or earliest memories that I have of playing a video game. Was going through there, and I never made a lot of progress because I always ended up restarting. And when you play that game, it has the opening sequence of lore, and it has that musical sequence, which is a soundtrack that has stuck with me like throughout my entire life. It is like my most, beloved soundtrack that I have in gaming, because it's so nostalgic for me. Even though I didn't have like a lot of experience like beating the game or going through other, Zelda titles, that one thing always stuck out with me. And I'm to this day trying to get to the point where I can go back and play that on stream and finally beat it.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. All right, we're going to switch a little gears here. I already know this answer now.
Yep. That's okay.
How do you like your coffee, barista?
So I like my coffee like I like my ghosts. non-existent. I do not actually like coffee whatsoever. I am a barista, and I do enjoy the smell of coffee. I think like fresh ground coffee, like a freshly opened bag of coffee. There is nothing better for the soul. There's nothing better to wake you up and get you going. As far as actually drinking it, I can pass on that.
Right on.
I'm not a big fan of the taste of coffee, and I'm also not the biggest fan of a lot of caffeine. So for those reasons, I traditionally do not drink any kind of coffee, even decaf coffee. But, you know, if push comes to shove, I can do a tasting of a decaf coffee.
Yeah,
It's just not on the menu for me.
Right on, right on.
I would take water happily.
Oh yeah, me too.
And it's funny because I think a lot of people don't realize just how many baristas are not big fans of coffee. Like obviously some people get into the industry because of their love of coffee. A lot of people just do it because, you know, it's a job, or, you know, like in my case, I like the customer service aspect, or, you know, I like being able to handcraft beverages and, you know, pair combos for people. And you can be really knowledgeable about, you know, flavor profiles, taste pairings, you know, all those intimate little like details. But people always like have a laugh when I tell them that I don't actually drink it.
Yeah, I actually have my black apron, so.
Gosh, I wish. I was actually talking to one of the other supervisors the other day. I was like, how can I get around the coffee passport if I don't drink coffee? And
I know I have a coworker too who wants to do it, but they can't actually drink coffee because they're allergic to like the coating on the coffee beans.
Oh wow.
oh god,
And so they're like, I mean, I can do like this slurp and like spit out.
yeah. Apparently that's a thing, but that just sounds awful to me.
It does.
That sounds horrible.
So Rhea, what's your favorite thing and least favorite thing about being a barista?
So, my least favorite thing, obviously, like a lot of people, is my least favorite thing and my most favorite thing are the customers.
Yeah.
The people that you interact with and serve. They have the ability to make the job, you know, absolutely like wonderful and fulfilling in a genuinely like heartwarming time. And they also have the ability to make you feel like you are, you know, staffing like a McDonald's with 2 people and there's 100 people waiting in the cafe and everyone's screaming and yelling at you.
And you're like, I'm sorry. Going as fast as we can.
Yeah, no, I can only do like my best. Like a lot of, you know, popular coffee chains and other, you know, it is ultimately like a fast food, fast service kind of industry. Like no matter what the culture is, you know, presented as, that's ultimately what it comes down to. It's, you know, the drive times, it's how long are people waiting, it's how fast can we get them out, you know. Customers can be terrible. Anybody who works in the service industry in any way knows this. There's a tendency for people to look down on you, to demean you, to berate you, to view you as lesser because they think that you're working a job that society does not view as being, you know, vital or important or, you know, meaningful. Or it's a job that they think is just for children, for teenagers, for, you know, school kids, not realizing just how many, you know, adults, how many dads, how many mothers, how many people, you know, rely on these jobs and, you know, even enjoy them. But, you know, obviously the flip side of that is that I do what I do because of the customers and the people that I have and serve. It's the regulars that I see. It's the people who come by and, you know, not to like be sappy about it, but just like the Twitch viewers who come in and stop and say hi and then they go on their day. I feel in a very similar way, like very like heartwarming, very like I absolutely love the connections that I have with these people that I see. You know, maybe I see them daily, maybe I see them a couple times a week, and I get to stop in and say, oh, you know, hey, how's it going? You know, how was your week? I remember you were doing this. How did that go? And like, for some people, stuff like that can be very, forced and fake, and they really care. But
Yeah.
for me, I do get a lot of genuine pleasure out of talking to people, and getting involved with, their day, their lives,
Yeah.
and even a tiny little bit away. So being able to make drinks, being able to provide that kind of atmosphere and service for people, and sending them on their way just a little happier is really, really important to me.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I feel it. Fellow barista tuna.
Yes.
One of the things that I love to tell people when they're like really stressed and there's like somebody behind them in the line, I'm just like, hey, this is our moment right now. I'll have my moment with them next. You're good, dude.
You're coming.
Like, don't stress, man. This is our moment. Like, we're hanging out, we're chatting. We might even include the rest of the line. I don't care. We're gonna party right now.
It's always my favorite when someone is in that position and they're like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm trying to hurry." Like, I'm like, "Don't worry about you. Just ignore the line behind you, hun." And they look behind her. There's no one. There's no one there. It's just them.
I love it. I love it. No stress and storm keep. Yes. Okay. Alrighty. Rhea. What is your least favorite food?
Oh God, my least favorite food. That's tough. That's really tough. Least favorite food.
Like, there's no food that like makes you gag just to think about or to smell.
I would say, so texture-wise, I cannot do undercooked proteins. I can't, like, when I get my meat, like my steak, it's almost always a medium or above. I can't do medium rare. I can't do rare. I don't like the red. I don't like the blood. I know it's not actually blood, but I can't do the blood. If it's fish, I have a really big texture issue with, uncooked or undercooked, fish. I can't have like sushi. The very first time that I actually came out here and like had like home cooked like salmon with some of my friends, they prepared it, the way that they enjoyed it, which was like a medium rare salmon. And I just immediately like started gagging and had to go back and basically burn it because I was so flustered at the time. And that caused me to start to overcook my foods because I got like the shock of it. And then over time, I've slowly been able to kind of ease it back into this is a better, happy medium. So I would have to say undercooked fish, undercooked meat is probably a no-go for me. I have to have it medium well, at least.
Yeah. Are you, so you're more of a texture person? It's not so much like flavors and stuff, like textures of food get you more?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a texture person too. I if it feels weird, I can't. Even if it smells good, I get it. I get it.
So Rhea, shifting gears a little bit, still a fun question here as we go into the home stretch of the last few questions. Share the least interesting place you have traveled to.
The least interesting place that I have traveled to. So I have not overly done a whole lot of travel in my life. The majority, so I live in Maryland on the East Coast. I'm originally from Kansas, in the Midwest, and Kansas is pretty much as open and empty and boring and plain and like, rice, like cornfield, like colored as it is typically described to be. Remember the Kansas slander. pretty much anywhere in Kansas is probably going to be the answer.
I mean, that's
I
a
don't
good
think
answer.
there
That's
is
your answer.
a good place that I can talk about. There are some interesting locales, but I have never been anywhere in Kansas that just stuck out to me and was like, wow, I'm so happy that I like live here. I come from like a very like mundane, small like country town. Very bland, very, very boring. I'm so happy to have moved and be forever gone from that horrible place.
That is an exact answer. It's beautiful. Alrighty. What is the weirdest sleeping dream that you've ever had that you're happy to share?
The weirdest dream that I've had while sleeping. Huh. So I'm gonna pull out an oldie but a goodie. For some reason, I don't know if it's like this for anyone else, but like I remember a lot more of my dreams and nightmares from when I was very young compared to as an adult, as a teen. One of my earliest memories of a dream was a dream that I had where it was in like my family's original house when I was very young, like I was probably like 5 or 6. And I remember so in the dream, I woke up, came out of my room, down the hallway, went to the living room, and like it was like bright and sunny. The whole family was seated like side by side, like very straight, like very strict on the couch, all next to each other, all dressed up, like very like creepy style, like all looking at me. And again, weird dream logic for whatever reason, the whole world like started to like rotate around so that like I had to try and like grab onto like tufts of the carpet because I was going to be hanging upside down soon as the world kept turning over. Meanwhile, my whole family was just like sat there like unbothered, unfazed, like staring, like smiling at me. And I'm like here like hanging on for dear life. And eventually that came back around and some other stuff happened. I don't remember everything, you know, as dreams happen. And I would go back out through the kitchen and went out to the backyard onto our deck. And there was a like full-size Tyrannosaurus Rex there. And he just came right up and ate me. And then it had one of those weird things where like the dream kind of like looped, like I died, but I didn't wake up. And so I would just like walk back out onto the balcony and then he would just come down and chomp me again. And that just kept going for a little while. And it's very weird. It's very strange. I don't have any like explanation. As a kid, Jurassic Park was my favorite movie of all time. It is the movie that I watched the most. That's probably where the dinosaur came from. But
I mean,
it definitely sparked this notion for me where my answer to dealing with strange and scary and dangerous situations in dreams, like in nightmares specifically, is to run into the danger. And for whatever reason, that helps me get through it or just wakes me up. So I just take the plunge.
That's great. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that one. That's a great one. All right, here's a fun one I think you'll like. If you could have either the superpower of invisibility or the superpower of flight, which one would you pick and why?
You said invisibility or flight?
Yep.
That is tough. I would probably say the power of flight, just because in a similar vein, I have a lot of dreams where when I get any kind of even semblance of control, I try to take off and like move and like fly if I can, or like, you know, like hover around or something. And I've had a lot of those dreams where like I have like gone over like the horizon, like gone over the ocean, like gone over like up the mountains. And I think that it would be infinitely more adventurous and exhilarating to have that power of flight. I'm sure there's some sneaky, crafty ways that you could use being invisible, but I would definitely fly if I had the choice.
I agree with you, and I've had similar dreams, so I know exactly what you're talking about. It's wonderful.
Alrighty, so this is the last question. Before we open up the questions to chats, and then you're also welcome to ask us any questions, Rhea, but last but not least, cookies or brownies?
100% cookies. I love cookies.
Why? What's your favorite?
I love snickerdoodles the best.
I love snickerdoodles.
Snickerdoodles are awesome.
You can't beat cinnamon. I put cinnamon in everything, even at Starbucks. When I go and I get like my cream frappuccino, because I don't do coffee, I will just dump like half of a container of cinnamon and get it blended. Like, it's delicious. Oh my God.
The brown sugar oat milk shake and espresso.
Man, you make me want to have some cinnamon sugar toast.
Whoa, sugar toast. That is my favorite. But just way too much butter.
Yes, it has to have a lot of butter.
Brownies can be good, but growing up, my mother always took the best pieces for herself, which was the crust pieces, the corner bits. So I was always left with the like slightly like less than like kind of gooey middle bits. And so I think I like a nice soft cookie instead.
Right on, right on. Okay.
I love the.
So this is that part where we're going to drop your link in chat, right? And guys, Rhea is amazing, as you guys have witnessed. And for those who haven't already seen her, please go drop her a follow. We want to support her in her joy and success and sharing herself. And so definitely check out her links and drop a follow and sub to her and send her bits and everything.
Yes.
And so here's the part where we open up the chat to you guys, to any questions that you have for her and any questions she might have for us.
Yeah. Aries asks, do you plan to do more Monster High style voice acting games? I miss those. I miss those. You are dang talented.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, as I continue to get more confident and better with like kind of my style of streaming, I want to do more of those games. That's something that I used to do a lot more early on. Back when I played Sorcery and some of these other like primarily, story-based games. I don't personally think that I have like that good of like repertoire of like voices, but it is something that I can be a little silly with and have some fun doing some like voices for different things, and people have enjoyed it. I know that we had a couple of streams where we played Monster High, Monster Camp, and they're these kind of silly, comedic, romantic little party games, and I think it would be a lot of fun to definitely go back to those. So I will make sure that they go on the list to revisit, whether they are, with friends or solo. And Raya just has to go through and voice everybody.
Right on. It looks like Aries has a couple more questions. I'm going to rail them both off at the same time. Favorite color and favorite anime if you watch anime.
Oh gosh. Okay. So my favorite color is Druid will approve is green. I love green. It's always been my favorite color. There's a reason why my character has so much green. Pink is a close second, but it is primarily green.
Yeah.
And definitely more of a lighter green than like a darker green.
I like the deep forest greens. Big fan.
They look good on the bangs.
Thank you.
And the second one, favorite anime if I watch. So I do watch anime. My current favorite 2 animes. It kind of goes back and forth. It's hard for me to decide. Is Code Geass and Gurren Lagann. If either of you have heard of those, I'm not sure if you guys partake in the animes.
Gurren Lagann is awesome.
My husband's big into anime.
Gurren Lagann is great. Code Geass is great. They're both very popular mecha animes. So they're both different variations of sort of futuristic worlds, alternate histories for humanity, where people tend to get into giant robots and smack each other.
Yeah.
So Rhea, is Land Shark David?
Yes, Land Shark is David. So he is my streaming companion, as it were.
So should I ask the question that he asked in chat?
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
He asked, "How come you're so mean to David on stream? He's a good boy and he's never done anything wrong."
That is a lie. Anything that David says is a lie. There's not a bit of truth that comes out of his mouth. He's a horrible person. And he should be shunned and shamed by everybody.
Shame.
Raya is
Shame.
innocent and perfect.
Lander.
I've never done anything wrong in my life. He's a bully and very, very rude.
Wow, Dig Gamer's got some more serious questions. Before we ask them, Rhea, do you have any questions for Druid or I?
I'm still trying to think of some good ones for you. I want to have them, but
Okay.
I'm notoriously bad on the spot.
Nope, you're good.
That's right. It's all good. You don't have to have any. And maybe if you think of them after the fact, then when we have you on the show in the future, you can ask them, assuming that you want to come back.
Absolutely.
So Aries asks, what future plans have you thought of for your streams, and what do you wish you could do if you had the chance?
Future plans for the streams. What do I wish I could do if I had the chance? I would love to do This is silly, and I don't know how it'd work with being a VTuber, but I have seen it done where it is somehow possible to set up a cooking stream where, you have some sort of like a top-down view where, you can see, the table, the preparation, the, maybe like your hands and arms or something, but still in a way where the model is like up front and reacting and responding. And I think it would be really cool to have some kind of like split screen, like thing like that. Like it's a totally out there weird thing that I don't know if will ever happen, but I would love to one day have the chance to try and explore something like that.
Oh yeah, that sounds cool.
Awesome. That is so cool, and that would be amazing. If you need ideas, or if you need help, or just a brainstorm, just bounce ideas.
No, I'm
happy to do that. I am happy to just help bounce off ideas. Let's go.
As for future plans with the stream, I think right now the biggest plan going forward is just to continue working on my own consistency, making sure that I am comfortable and happy and able to, stream a little more, but not in a way that is going to overwhelm me. I definitely want to work on finding like my best path forward as a content creator and see where that takes me.
Totally get it.
Yeah. I'll let you throw this one, Druid.
Aries has another question. When is the Aries-Rhea collab gonna happen?
I want to know this myself.
My two favorite VTubers. I would absolutely.
Now, I have been asking this same question since before the Aries VTuber was a thing. So I have been throwing that at Aries, and I am waiting on him to get back to me on there. I would love to have a collab. I would love to play some Phasmo. I would love to play some fun stuff. And as soon as he is able and ready to keep up with me on that, I think we can look at making it happen.
Can I pitch an idea?
Sure.
Because so Fate and I have been have played around a little bit with that guest star feature on Twitch. And I think it would be so cool to see both of you guys as VTubers reacting to Phasmo at the same time. And you guys could do two collabs. Like part one, part two. One is on Rhea's stream, and then one is on Aries' stream.
That's a great freaking idea.
Oh, shit.
So instead of
I like
streaming
that.
so instead of streaming at the same time, it would just be one person would do part one person would do part two, and then that's how you guys would collab it. And then you guys could both have your VTubers up on the screen as well, which I just think would be a really fun, because then you can see the VTubers reacting and stuff. And I just think that would be so much fun.
I agree.
I think this is great. I love this idea so much. I want to make it happen.
Okay. Make it happen, Aries.
I know that Aries has been working on playing Phasmo and getting better. I do happen to know that he's not quite to the point of being ready to challenge the ghosts yet, though. So I think it could make for some fun screams and shenanigans to
He says,
toss us in there together. Someone that doesn't know what they're doing and someone that only kind of knows what they're doing.
It would just be so glorious, and I think it would be a wonderful and amazing thing. I'm throwing that out into the ether. I want the stars to align.
I mean, I'll take it one step further. And when's the trio stream of Phasmophobia with Stormy?
No. Okay.
Toss everyone in the pot.
I got, you know what? If you guys can nail it down, I mean, I can basically, I can do it on a Monday night. I can do it on a Wednesday night, probably. I would have to preempt Diablo for another night, which is okay. You know, we could, yeah, I mean, Thursday and Friday is kind of tough because they're super locked in. But I would, as long as it's a Monday evening or Wednesday evening, for sure.
Yeah. So I will say, like, since Fate and I have been playing around with it, like I have a pretty good grasp of how the screen like the guest star feature for Twitch, the Twitch integration, whatever. I have a pretty good idea. So if anybody has any questions or they want to look into it, like, I think I can do it. I actually think I can do it. That's a tech thing I kind of understand, and I'm just kind of super excited about it. And I just want everybody to do it.
I would love to learn more about it. I'm aware of the feature. I don't know anything more than that. How it works, what it's like. I haven't seen it, but it does sound like a really neat way to feature other streamers and other people that you got on. So
yeah, it literally, all you do is you add it as another, like, it gives you a browser source to add to your whatever streaming service, whether it's OBS or Streamlabs, whatever you're streaming through. And it's just you just add in the thing. What is it called? The browser source. And then you just kind of do it through the Twitch. It's actually pretty simple. So we'll do a master class one of these days. We'll all get together and we'll figure it out.
It's a good idea. Because I would love to learn and help out too. Cool.
All right.
If nobody has any other questions, it's we can start wrapping up the show now. Did any come to mind from you, Raya?
I will say I did have one question I was curious about, just because I obviously watch you guys play a lot of your D&D.
Yeah.
You know, usually in the background. I am actually preparing to DM my first one shot for the very first time.
Congratulations.
And I was wondering, as you know, very active, experienced D&D players and or DMs, if you guys had any advice for me.
Oh, sure, for sure. As a DM, are you going to be, so you say it's going to be a one shot. Are you using a pre-existing module, or are you going to create everything from scratch?
I do plan on using a pre-existing module. No, I've been playing D&D, you know, as a player for a couple years now. Right. But I have never DM'd. I, you know, take a lot of like inspiration, look up a lot to, you know, people like Matthew Mercer and some of the other people in that community who DM and go through.
I actually always recommend new DMs try out DMing for their first time with a module. I think it's the perfect way, because DMing is a certain kind of flow in the way that you know, present the story and the experiences and the encounters. and the reading some of the old school modules are better than the newer ones. But basically, if you can find a module that has the little kind of description blocks separate, and then you'll need to really know that module backwards and forwards. But just remember when you use that module that you are there as a guide for the players to have fun. It's not adversarial, even though you as the DM are rolling on behalf of the monsters. You are not the monster. You instead, I'm sure you know this, but there are some DMs who end up failing because they don't really conceptualize that you're there to facilitate the fun of the party and the group. And so just let things happen as they will, and don't be afraid to steer things from time to time. But as a new DM, mainly just stick to a module. That way you get the feel and the flow of how it works. You're kind of like the director of a movie in a way. So
yeah. And then I think my next piece of advice would be making sure that you have a really good established set of ground rules and expectations for the one shot. I think if you go, hey, this is my hopes, these are my expectations. Do you guys have any questions? Is there anything we want to try to get out of the way first? Like, is there that? I think having those things right away would benefit you a lot, because that's what my DM on my Friday night games, that's what they did, was they were like, hey, listen, this is my goal for this campaign. These are the ground rules. And at any point, if we have any confusion, we're breaking immersion and we're discussing it over the table just to make sure we're all on the same page, and then we can jump right back into the game, right? So I think because I think that would be really beneficial for you as a baby DM.
Yeah, right.
Coming from a baby player, you guys are watching my very first D&D experience ever unfolding live on stream. I'm a brand new player to D&D. So
I love that. Thank you.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it from you, both of you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And just believe in yourself. Enjoy the storytelling process. If you enjoy D&D, like it's obvious that you do, then you'll do fine. Believe in yourself. It's all good. Hey, Silver Wolf. Hey, Archeros.
New players, welcome in, guys. So in case you guys didn't know, this is a really big episode. This is our first VTuber. And we are so honored that Rhea was our very first VTuber.
Yep.
It's been great. Thank you so much.
This is so good. I'm so happy.
Yep.
Does anybody else have any questions for anyone on the floor? Anyone?
Oh, that's okay, Lucy. No worries. Well, it looks like there's not quite any more questions, but that's okay. There will be obviously more in the future, if we get to have Ray on in the future. And we
Clearly, I would love to come back if that's a thing.
Absolutely. Oh my God, yes, yeah. Like that's our goal in the future is as Bandwidth and Banter grows and expands, we want to be able to share and showcase and shine a light on the wonderful people that are part of our community that are fellow streamers, especially ones that we adore and respect, like yourself. And so by having you on again in the future is just, you're amazing and we love you. So
yeah.
Oh, I love both of you and everybody who's watched. I really appreciate it. Obviously, thank you so much for the invite. Thank you for making me feel, a welcome part of your community.
Absolutely.
It's been wonderful. It's been magical. It really has made every bit of difference to me, and I'm extremely grateful for that. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Well, thanks for coming on the show. We're going to wrap up now. and stick around. We'll be chatting with you a little bit more, Rhea, as soon as the show's done.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody.
Ah, wow. Druid. I'm so happy to have had Raya on the show.
I know. It flew by.
Yes, she just warms my heart. She's just an amazing human being. And she's got a great energy and a vibe. And my gosh, her avatar is so cool. And she's got this creative spirit. So we're lucky to have so many cool people in our communities and to be able to share our communities with each other.
Yeah.
And can't wait to have her back.
I know. I can't wait to, I can't wait for some collabs coming up. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm going to be all over
excited.
those. Yep, that'll be awesome.
I'm so excited. It'll be so good.
Right on. Okay, guys. Well, remember that I guess Banana Tom and Lucifer Lightbearer and Starkitty and I are going to be streaming tonight, Celesta. And Druid, of course, Druid and Fate and I and Starkitty will be on D&D tomorrow night. So, guys, do check out, I forgot where you put it, but Druid, you put a poll in my chat, not in the poll section, but
I know I did it in the wrong spot.
It's all right. Go! Please, guys, go vote in that poll. We're trying to decide if it's okay for us to move the D&D session a half an hour earlier and quit a half an hour earlier, from 5:30 to 9:30 instead of 6 to 10. Mainly because of kind of bandwidth tech issues that we want to solve. And so let us know if that's going to be an impact on anybody. And arigato gozaimasu. Thank you, Angry Angel, for the resub. So with that, make sure you guys go check out the D&D stream tomorrow and go drop a follow for Rhea and support her, and drop a follow for Druid and support her. So thanks again, guys, for joining us for the show. Anything else to add, Druid?
If anybody talks smack about VTubers VTubing, I'ma be upset.
We're gonna be up all in their grill.
I'm gonna fight them. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of jealous about all the VTubers and the cool VTuber stuff. I just show my face.
I think VTubing is neat. I adore it.
I think it's so cool.
It's a very special and integral part of Twitch and the whole experience. And I'm with you. I think I love any kind of technological progress. So I'm all for
like VTubers are so cool, and it's one of those things where I'm like, listen, like we need to support our VTubers, man. They are the foundation of awesomeness, and y'all, like people that don't support VTubers, I'm coming for you. Literally coming for all of you.
Right on. Okay. Thank you guys so much again for joining us on Bandwidth and Banter. We'll see you again next week. Who do we have on the show next week? Do you remember? I remember.
I think it's Brandon Wolf Gaming next week.
Yes, it is. Who happens to be here tonight. Thank you for joining us, Brandon Wolf Gaming. We adore you and can't wait to chat with you next week. Thanks again, Rhea. We love you. You all have a great evening. We'll catch you later. And I'll be on in just about 10 minutes. Bye-bye.
Bye. Goodbye.